Okay, hi, this is Elliot Fishman, and welcome to our Facebook Live. And it's great to have everybody here, and hope everybody's doing well. Um, you can see that we're working away here. Um, in terms of everything, the COVID numbers are looking better. This week started the vaccinations for the 5 to 11 year olds, which is potentially 28 million people, which potentially will decrease the number of people who are not vaccinated, which will also help the kids in school, and people will not be shutting down schools for someone testing positive. So I think that's going to be very, very important, and I think it's a major stride forward. The next thing is going to be what about the under 5 year olds? I think that probably will be in the first quarter of 2022. I'm not sure if it's going to be from 1 to 5 or 2 to 5, but there's no doubt that they're going to need to pick those lower kids up as well. That involves a lot of the daycare. It also means that if you can get that lower number, that everybody is eligible for vaccination. And hopefully, people are a lot smarter than Aaron Rodgers from Green Bay with his craziness. I can't even go into explaining that, but and hopefully everyone's doing better. And things like the COVID vaccine, beyond the vaccine, the pills. First was Merck, which had a 50%, which was pretty good, until Pfizer comes along with a 90+%. We take a pill for 2 days, and it prevents COVID symptoms. So and surely prevents COVID deaths. So I think that's all very exciting. And as we try to get to a post-COVID era, that's our only hope. The post-COVID era, RSNA is happening this year. I know it's going to be a lot smaller. Some companies like Canon are not going to be there. NVIDIA is not going to be there. A lot of the AI companies are not going to be there. Some companies like Siemens are going to be there, but they're going to have very much scaled down booths, probably 10 to 20% of what they normally have. I know the attendance is going to be low, plus a lot of people who are going and go for very short periods of time. But hey, last year there was nothing, so there is some hope. And hopefully by November 2022, a year from now, we'll be able to be going to RSNA without wearing masks. But time will tell, and I guess we said the same thing last year, and then of course Delta came along, so it changed everything. But hopefully it will get better. Now, to change the subject and actually get to the subject of this Facebook Live, this is Technologist Week. So happy Technologist Week to all the technologists. I think that's a great thing. I think the techs are key to everything we do in radiology. There's no doubt without the techs, we would be nowhere. The techs are really the key factor. If you have, you need to have good scanners, obviously, or reasonably good scanners. But if you have great scanners and bad techs, you're still going to get bad studies. So at the end of the day, the techs are the single most important thing that determines how good you are in practice. And all of us in academics surely understand this. Our ability to be able to publish, do research, everything else is dependent on the quality of the studies done. Also, when you interpret studies, it's easy to interpret a study that's done correctly. It's impossible to interpret a study that's done incorrectly. So really, at the end of the day, the technologists really control the universe in that regard. Also, I have to say that when you think about it, and it's been made worse by COVID, the radiologists, forget the interventional radiologists, but the regular radiologists, diagnostic, neuro, those people are never around. They never see the patients. They just simply are sitting in their office or somewhere or home reading films. Well, the technologists, whether it was the middle of COVID, the beginning of COVID, or after COVID, the technologists are always seeing the patients. They're putting the patients on the table, they're taking the patients off the table, they're speaking to the patients. The rad techs are the face of radiology. There is no doubt about it. When someone has a good experience and they write me a note, they don't send a note and say, "Oh, Elliot, this radiologist was a really good film reader." They don't say that. They talk about the technologists, how the technologists were nice, how the technologists were helpful, how the technologists showed compassion and passion, compassion for the patient and passion for the work they were doing. I get letters like that all the time, and that's so important to what we do and how we do things. So that becomes very, very critical to me, and I think it's critical to all of us. And we only can really be grateful to our technologists for doing such a wonderful job. And I see some of them are online. John Biacchino from Body CT, Manverda from Nepal, who always is here, and Liliana, who is out in California. Hey, Liliana. And hi, John, and hi, Manverdi. So I think it's very important, and I always like to joke that when they have Tech Week, Dunkin' Donuts or whatever donut place you have by you, Voodoo Donuts if you're out west, or whatever those things are, Krispy Kremes, they all get sold out because someone's bringing technologist donuts. But I think we do a bunch of things here for the techs, but it's really not the week of the Tech Week that's probably important. It's the 51 other weeks that are not Tech Week, but the techs do a great job 52 weeks a year, not just the 1 week when they get a snack or two. So we are very grateful for that. CT is Us in general has lots of material for technologists, from articles to protocols to stuff on contrast, a whole bunch of things. So hopefully you enjoy that. We also are now pushing a little bit more on Facebook Live, where I'll be interviewing people, and we figured out a good way, Lily and I, using a really easy way of using Zoom, where we do the interview or the discussion in Zoom, but it's on Facebook Live in real time. It gets around the fact that we're not sitting together. It gets around the fact that sometimes there's glitches even when you're sitting together, getting within the camera range. So here we're able to do it where it's on Zoom, so everyone's by their own camera. They're sharing the information. It's really, really easy. It's a good way to show slides as well. So we are using Zoom as the front end to Facebook Live. And again, for you, you will never notice a little button that says Zoom, but you don't need to log on to Zoom. You don't need a password. You just go back to Facebook Live and you see all the stuff. And next week, we're having one of the really great people from NVIDIA come to speak to us. So I think it's going to be very exciting. There's this thing called MONAI, MONAI, which is a new program for being able to do better programming, but especially valuable in the medical space. And we're going to discuss that. We're going to discuss some of the latest and greatest. NVIDIA's biannual meeting ends today. We posted some stuff, and we'll keep posting stuff from there. There's a wonderful talk from Jensen Huang, who's the CEO. It's about 90 minutes from the other day. You can watch the whole thing if you get time this weekend or tonight. But if you don't have time, just watch this 3-minute little teaser of some of the stuff he spoke about. I think what happens when you watch the teaser, it's going to make you get really excited and go watch the entire talk. So, but even if you only watch the teaser and spend 3 minutes, I think it's 3 minutes that are very worth your time. And I think you're going to learn a lot from those 3 minutes. And you're going to see where the world's changing. I think computers is changing the world. Every part of the world is changing by computers, okay? I don't think anyone's going to argue about that. But I think it goes beyond the computers. It's everything we do in radiology, whether it's scheduling, whether it's protocoling, whether it's designing the protocols, whether it's doing follow-ups, whether it's measuring volumes of tumors, response to tumors, whether it's looking at AI for detecting the presence of tumor, all of those things, AI is going to change everything we do. So I think that's very exciting. I think it's important for people to really pay attention to that and really get involved in that. And we're very excited about being able to present people who really know the subject and have them share with us information and keep you guys up to date. So that's something I think we're starting, and we've done a few of those already. We're going to do more, but we have one next Tuesday. It'll be at noon. My Thursday thing will stay on Thursday, but these are going to be like special Facebook Live with keynote speakers. So I think that's going to be very exciting. So we're really, really looking forward to that. And I'm going to try to get some really good people. And people, at least for a while when they're still home, they have a little bit more time to help me. So that part's very exciting, and there's not a lot of prep. And these people are really terrific. So That's one thing. Let's see what else. If you have any questions, it's probably a good time to ask. We are working really hard, I guess, for the techs. I can tell you, there's a new app coming out very soon on the lumbar spine on the Apple Store for iPad and iPhone. Looks fantastic. We're working on the new lectures. That you may notice that in this last 6 months, all the lectures that are on CT as Us that are being put up are not revised lectures. Like often I'll redo the pancreas. Every one of them for the past 6 or 8 months is a new lecture, and that'll be true going into the first quarter of 2022. Then I'll probably be redoing some of the lectures that I need to redo. We are in the process of working on the pearls and case studies for next year. The quiz cases, we're working on that. Need to record 12 months worth, or maybe not all 12 months at one time, but I need to do that. So we are looking at a lot of exciting things. And again, as we like to ask you that if you guys have any suggestions to let us know. I think we try to pay attention to what people say, and we try to think really hard ourselves what we should be doing. But you have different opinions than us, and we'd like to hear your opinion. So if you have a good idea of what we can do or what we should do, we'd love to hear from you. So that's the main thing. So if no questions, let me just wish everybody a happy, a great tech week. Again, we are very grateful for our technologists and what a great job they do. So it's important to, it's challenging times, I think, for everybody, but I think the techs have really been amazing the past 2 years and the past 20 years, 30 years and beyond, but we really are grateful. And with that, I'll say, John, get back to work. All right, guys, have a great day. Bye.